Good morning, good night, and good evening, my motherfucking royals. It is a lovely Thursday evening here, and I am headed to work. But when I was meditating, I was sitting there thinking, and all of a sudden, God was like, Jordan, I'm about to remove some parasites. And I was like, what do you mean? And I was just thinking, because I was seeing like the parasite cleanses and stuff like that. I was like, you mean like physically? And God's like, no, I mean people. And so I'm like, let's elaborate on that for the people. And so right now you're transitioning into a period where you're about to be winning, right? Like it's about to be your winning season. So what you absolutely cannot bring with you is people that drain you, people that deplete from you, people that try to throw you off, and people that feed off of your energy, parasites, right? And so I always say, like, you're supposed to go throughout life and you're supposed to, give love. You're supposed to, give love to everybody. But there's a difference, right, between you knowing that somebody's like leeching your energy, 111 as I was saying that, and you knowing you should be like, well, I'm always drained around this person. This person always feels like they're taking my energy from me. Like every time they come around, I feel shitty. Like those are all things that you should pay attention to. But specifically, something that I like to do often is randomly, I will just pull all of my energy back. I will just pull all of my love and energy back. And once it all gets back to me, you can then start to see how people act. So I want you to do that. Like, if you suspect that, people around you are feeding off of your energy, that are trying to use your energy to manifest things for themselves and stuff like that, then what I want you to do is sit down, right? And I want you to be like, God, I want you to pull all of my energy back from everywhere that it doesn't belong, right? And then what I want you to watch is watch how people start acting around you and towards you. So this could also look like, doing cord cuttings and stuff like that. But so one thing that I always say, like, if you cut someone out of your energy, if you make that conscious decision, like, oh, I'm going to cut this person off, I'm going to stop talking to them. And like almost as soon as you do that, that person reaches out to you, chances are they are dependent on your energy. And so what happened is you just severed that energetic connection, and now they felt it. So now they're like, what's going on? Like, I need to talk to this person. I need to get back in their energy, right? The other thing that you need to look out for is like destiny swapping. People will try to get you to make choices and do things that basically lead you off your path so that they can try to step into your path. That one you really don't have much to worry about, because I'm going to take that hawk as confirmation. Like whatever is for you, and it'll never miss you. So, somebody couldn't just be like, oh, like I want like all of their blessings and their gifts that God bestowed upon them, so I'm going to steal them. It's not going to work like that. Really, all they're doing is just digging themselves a hole, because, you're going to get negative karma for trying to steal stuff from other people, right? But on the flip side, right, we're going to stop looking at the negative aspect of this. You're about to be, and my phone just like flashed or some shit. I don't even know. But you're about to be in a season where people are going to want you, not specifically in love, but it could be in love. But I physically mean like you're going to be in this season of people wanting to have you around, people wanting you to work with them, to work for them. You're going to have a lot of people looking up to you. People are really just going to want you to assist them with literally any and everything. People are just going to want to have you on board. It's like, like when people get famous, right? And they're like the hot commodity, right? So everybody wants to have your face attached to whatever it is they're doing. It's like that kind of energy. Like it's like there's going to be a lot of people. Yeah, I'll take that as confirmation. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to want to be in your energy. There's going to be a lot of people that want to be a piece of, like, to have a piece of your energy, to be a part of whatever it is that you're going to be creating, as well as people are going to want to just partner with you in general, because they're now, like, they're getting ready to see that, like, God is about to move mountains. And when God moves mountains in your life versus when you try to do it to your, like, do it for yourself, it's really unmistakable, right? So people are going to be able to look at you, and they're going to see everything that you've been through. They're going to see all the challenges, all the obstacles. They're going to see everything, and they're going to be like, whoa, God really did help them. God was, like, there's no physical way this person should have come out of this situation the way they did. And because of the type of person that you are, I get the sense that you fully will be attributing it to God. Like, you will physically be like, look, the only reason I'm here, the only reason I made it this far, the only reason I have anything is because of God. Like, you're that level of like, gracious to the Creator, right? You're that level of I don't want to say dependent. You're that level of, like, devoted, I will say, to God, walking the right path, to doing the right thing. And God is getting ready to show up and show out for you. And just know that all of these people, right? So you might notice that people, after you do this, right, after you pull all your energy back and you say, I'm going to stop giving my energy to everyone, I'm going to stop giving my love to everyone, right? When you pull that energy back, what's going to happen is, right, people are going to try to reach out. They're going to try to get back in your energy. But what also happens a lot of times is the mask that people have falls off. So a lot of times you'll see people, and then you might see them randomly, and you're like, you look really different, but it's not in a good way. That's because all the time they have, like, a fake persona or a mask that they wear to try to present themselves a certain way to you, basically in order to deceive you, right? And so you're gonna notice that, like, as you're leveling up and when you're pulling your energy back, a lot of people are gonna start looking really different to you, and that's because all of their masks are falling off. And, like, this is something that I've said, like, you know, since way back in the day. Like, you would be surprised how many people actually use magic in this day and age. People literally, they have you, like, brainwashed into believing that magic doesn't exist, that it never existed, like, all of that shit. Meanwhile, the Hollywood elites and all the people at the top, the Freemasons, all that shit, they're all using magic for their own gain, for their own benefit. And, like, you would be surprised how many people in the world, it could be your next door neighbor, it could be the person that sits across from you at your cubicle, it could be the person that you work with, right? And whole time they could be doing, like, black magic, like, this kind of stuff, to try to, like, stop you and hinder you from your destiny. Because a lot of times what people don't realize is that, like witches and stuff like that, like, evil practitioners, they can see you, right? They're trained just like the starseeds are, God's angels, like the chosen ones. Just like we are trained by God to notice certain things, to see certain things, to be a certain way, to be able to handle things in certain situations like that. They are trained pretty much the same exact way by the forces of evil, darkness, the devil, however you want to say it. And so they can see you and your light from a mile away. And a lot of them are like practiced at seeing into the spiritual and trying to see your soul. And a lot of times people will see that glow, and, you know, they will either be like, oh, like, they're on something, not like physically on something, but like there's something different about them. Like, so then they're going to try to sabotage you, or they're going to be like, oh my God, like, look how that person glows. Like, if I could get in that person's energy, like, then they could fucking, like, I could use some of that energy, like, it'll start rubbing off on me. And so that's why, like, a lot of times, if you know, like, God has a calling on your life, a leaf just flew right into the window. If you know God has, like, a special calling, like a special purpose for you, and you feel like you're not going anywhere, but then you look around you and all of these people that you know are doing people wrong, that you know are in, like, that should be in God's negative judgment, but for some reason things just keep going, like, up and up and up for them. Number one, the devil will always elevate his people ahead of God's people to try to convince you to change teams, to try to convince you to stop what you're doing. Like if you make music, right, and you're making music for years and years and years, and you don't talk about certain things that they do in mainstream media and mainstream music, then right, and you see all these people that talk about all this stupid shit getting elevated, then what are you? You're more likely to be like, you know what, fuck it, like I'll just do it. I'll say this, I'll say that, like whatever, as long as it gets me like seen and stuff like that, right? And so, but the other thing is that, right, like while the devil like elevates his own people, right, the other thing in that situation is that people could be siphoning your energy to use for your manifestations and your stuff like that. I've been in multiple situations like that personally, where a group like a coven or a group like that practices magic, they might not necessarily refer to themselves as a coven, a cult, whatever, Masons, whatever the fuck, however they identify themselves as. I've been in a few situations where they've been trying to siphon my energy, 1111 as I'm saying that. And so y'all just know what God promised you is on the way. It's coming, and the only thing that you really have to be worried about in this time is making sure you are loving yourself, making sure that you are staying up on your spiritual protection and your spiritual hygiene, and just making sure that you are, that you're meditating, drinking water, eating healthy, you're living the good life, right? You're doing what you're supposed to do, and everything will come just the way it's supposed to. Everything will flow perfectly, just like water. So much love to everybody as always, and y'all have a good day.